And we're back with the Fat Electrician, one of my favorite YouTubers at the moment. Love how he tells stories, love the content, keep up the great work. We really enjoy reacting to the videos, and we're going to react to the F-15 Eagle, the most gangster fighter jet of all time. You know we love our jets. We know we're into our military videos, so you excited?
Let's get into it. Let's just learn some new stuff today.
Today we're talking about the most gangster fighter jet of all time, the F-15 Eagle.
Big old boy.
Wow.
That looks sick.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the American muscle car equivalent of a fighter jet. Developed during the Cold War in the early 1970s, it was designed to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to establish air superiority. And being that this was the 1970s and stealth technology wasn't going to come out for another decade, Uncle Sam had to rely on good old-fashioned horsepower and gunpowder. He figured if you couldn't be sneaky enough to go unnoticed, you just had to be fast enough to go untouched. And that is exactly what they did with the F-15, because it is equipped with two Pratt & Whitney F-100 engines, totaling 19,200 horsepower, which is...
Oh my god, 19. So here I am, yeah. I just got my Golf R, yeah. I got a Volkswagen Golf R. I got it to stage 1, which pushed it up to just under 400 brake horse.
That's baby
and that
compared
shit,
to that.
And that shit is a rocket right now, yeah.
Oh
I can't even
God.
imagine. 19,200 horse. Mate.
Is like 800,000 water chickens. This plane can travel at a max speed of Mach 2.5, which is roughly 1,900 miles an hour. And here's the kicker,
God.
It's not just fast, it's quick. And if you don't know the difference, I'll elaborate. You can build up speed slowly and be fast. But being quick is the ability to be fast in a hurry. And the F-15 is like a drag car. It is fast the minute you hit the throttle. So fast, in fact, that you can argue that it could be classified as a rocket. Okay, hear me out. I'm gonna nerd out for a second. Generally speaking, aircrafts need to do two things to fly. They need to generate lift and thrust. They need to generate enough lift to counteract gravity, so the physical weight of the aircraft, and they need to generate enough thrust to counteract drag. But here's the thing with the F-15, it has a greater than 1 thrust to weight ratio, meaning that it can generate enough pounds of thrust to offset drag and the weight of the aircraft, meaning it doesn't need to generate lift to sustain flight, which is what a fucking rocket does. If you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you the F-15 doesn't need to generate lift, it can just beat the atmosphere into submission. The F-15...
That's mad. It's got so much thrust, lift don't even matter no more. Like, even though those are the scientifically two
just
things
goes.
you need, the thrust is so peaked that lift ain't even in the calculation. Even though it has lift, it's like it doesn't need it because the thrust is so... Just shows where technology is. That's mad.
Imagine what it feels like when you're going full throttle in that. Like when he puts his foot down in the Golf R, I'm holding on to the
like it's quick.
handle.
It's quick. It's very quick.
And I can feel my belly turning upside down.
So
imagine that.
I can't even imagine it. It's just too much. That will make a Lamborghini look like a fucking cyclist.
F-15 could literally have its wings chopped off in mid-flight and it would still be able to fly. And I can already hear the comment section now. Buh! The chubby electron guy's so dumb he needs to go back to high school physics class. That's not how any of this works. Buh. No, that's exactly how this works. And guess what? If you don't want to believe me and what's theoretically possible on paper, you don't have to, because this has already happened in real life. In 1983, an F-15 had a mid-air collision, completely lost one wing, and then proceeded to fly 10 more miles and then land safely. Okay, and if that's not enough proof that it's basically a rocket, you can look at how an F-15 takes off. I'll show you the footage. The minute it clears the runway, it goes straight vertical and breaks the sound barrier. It is one of the only planes on the planet that can do that.
Hey, yo. Nah, that's a rocket. The way it just went and then up. Not even like slowly. Literally just went doof. Sounds like a rocket.
Buh! Well, even if it is that fast, common sense dictates that they had to make a bunch of design compromises, and I bet the F-15 has hardly any firepower because of it. Buh! You know what? For once, you're right. That is what common sense would dictate, because that's what every other country does. If they want to go really fast, they either have to sacrifice firepower or maneuverability. However, here's what you're not taking into consideration. This is America. We don't make cents. We make dollars, and this thing has more firepower than any other fighter jet in the American fleet. Yeah, more bombs, more missiles, and on the off chance that isn't enough, it's also equipped with an M61 Vulcan 20mm Gatling cannon in case it needs to tell somebody to get fucked at 6,000 rounds per minute.
That was... Did you hear that farting noise? That was the Gatling gun shooting 6,000 bullets in a minute.
So just so we're all on the same page, even though the F-15 is over 50 years old, it is still the fastest and most heavily armed fighter jet in the American fleet. And did I mention that it can also go like 3,000 miles without needing to refuel? Meaning that it's also extremely versatile logistically speaking, because it can fly from America to Europe without needing aerial refueling. And here's the kicker, none of that is the reason it's the most gangster fighter jet of all time. It's the most gangster fighter jet of all time because this thing is the epitome of a pro gamer move. It has a real world combat record of 104-0. It is down to 104 enemy aircrafts and been shot down 0 times in return. It is the only aircraft to lose a wing, continue flying, and land safely. It's the only aircraft to ever shoot down a satellite while it was still in outer space. Yeah, America did that during the Cold War. We shot down one of our own spy satellites to send a message to the Soviet Union that we could do it to their satellites too.
Hey, that's mad. We'll use our own satellite as an example to show what we can do.
Yeah, to show them we're not messing
That's
around.
mad.
Yeah.
That jet is 50 years ago. So imagine technology now. If they scrapped this jet, the F-15, and said, all right, we've got to build something from scratch, what can they do now 50 years later? Fucking...
I just think it's crazy how it lost a wing and it was still able to move for another 10 miles.
Yeah, that's mad.
It just shows how strong the technology was back then. And like you said,
now?
imagine now.
I can't even imagine it. It's just too much.
Wow.
And technology now is like, it's peaking.
Much
compared to way
better.
ahead of what it was. Way ahead.
And my personal favorite, it is the only aircraft to ever score an air-to-air kill using a bomb. Not an air-to-air missile, a bomb. Yeah, in 1991, during Desert Storm, it actually hit a moving Mi-24 Hind helicopter with a GBU-10 bomb. Yeah, this one.
Oh my god, that person definitely died.
That is a 2,000-pound general-purpose bomb, and it just hit a moving helicopter with it. That is absolutely unheard of. In conclusion, while the F-15 is no longer the best fighter jet on the planet because it's been replaced by the F-22 Raptor, I feel pretty confident in saying that it will go down in history as the greatest fighter jet of all time. And that history is still being written because America is coming out with another F-15, the F-15EX Eagle II. And that's going to have to be its own video some other time. Thanks for watching.